Hi, best first graders. I really miss you guys, and I'm sorry that we're not in school together, but that doesn't mean that we can't be learning. I'm going to send you some videos of things that you can do at home without printing out any worksheets or getting anything from school. It's stuff you can just do at home on a blank piece of paper or a whiteboard or a chalkboard if you have those things at home. If not, you can just try your best and answer my questions in your head. The great thing about this is if I'm reading a story or telling you something that you didn't hear or want to listen to again, you can push the rewind button that looks like two triangles. Or if you need to take a restroom break or get a snack or take a nap, you can push the pause button. So this will be a great way for us to stay connected when we're not in school right now. So the first thing I want to share with you is I'm going to give you some links that if you can print things out or your mom and dad want you to do some extra things at home, I'll send you some websites and I'll post them underneath the video so that you can click on those and print those out to make sure your brain stays sharp when we're out of school. I'm also going to send you the YouTube videos that we do in class every day, the money song, skip counting by twos, all those fun things that you can get out some energy with at home, and maybe you can teach your brothers or sisters how we do that in first grade. So the first thing we're going to do is read The Name Jar. And this is one of my favorite stories, and it really helps us learn about empathy, which is what we've been talking about in our classroom. We know empathy means making yourself feel how someone else is feeling. So I'm going to read you this story called Name the Name Jar. And I want you, while you're listening to it, to think about how you might feel if you were in a new school that no one spoke the same language as you. So, through the school bus window, Young Hee looked at the strange buildings and houses on the way to her new school. It was her first day, and she was both nervous and excited. She figured the little block of wood in her pocket and remembered leaving her grandmother at the airport in Korea. Her grandmother had wiped away Young Hee's tears and handed her an ink pad and a small red satin pouch. "Your name is inside," she had said. "My name?" Young Hee wondered. Again, she took out the red pouch to look at the wooden block with her name carved in it. As she ran her fingers along the grooves and ridges of the Korean characters, she pictured her grandmother's smile. "Is that thing for show and tell?" a boy asked Young Hee, surprising her. Young Hee looked up as more kids leaned over. "No, it's mine," Young Hee answered, quickly putting the pouch back in her pocket. "Are you new here? What's your name?" a girl asked. "Young Hee," said Young Hee. "Ooh, nay?" the girl asked, scrunching up her face. Ooh, nay," said some kids chanted. No, Young Hee corrected. "It's spelled U-N-H-E-I. It's pronounced Yoon Hee." "Oh, it's you, hey?" the boy said, "like you. Hey, what's up? Hey, you." Just then, the bus pulled up to the school and the doors opened. Yoon Hee hurried to get off. "You, hey, bye-bye," the kids yelled as she left. Yoon Hee felt herself blush. Well, already you can imagine how you might be feeling if you were on that bus. Yoon Hee stood in the doorway of her new and noisy classroom. She was relieved that the kids on the bus had gone to other rooms, but her face still felt red. "Aren't you going in?" asked a curly-haired boy with lots of dots on his face. "You're the new girl, right?" he asked cheerfully. Yoon Hee nodded, and before she could walk away, the boy took her hand and pulled her through the door. "Here's the new girl," he announced so loudly that the teacher, Mr. C, almost dropped his glasses. Mr. C thanked him and greeted Yoon Hee. "Please welcome our newest student," he said to the class. "She and her family just arrived from Korea last week." Yoon Hee smiled broadly and tried not to show her nervousness. "What's your name?" someone shouted. Yoon Hee pictured the kids on the bus. I haven't picked one out yet," she told the class, "but I'll let you know by next week." Mr. C showed her to her desk. She felt many round, curious eyes on her. "Why doesn't she have a name?" she heard some whisper. "Maybe she robbed a bank in Korea and needs a new identity," a boy replied. On the bus home, nobody teased her but Yoonhee kept thinking about her name. "How was school, Yoonhee?" her mother asked when she walked in. "Did you understand the teacher?" Yoonhee simply nodded. She unpacked her school bag and set the red pouch by a photograph of her grandma. "I'm glad you're learning English well," her mother said. "You must study hard, behave nicely, and get good grades to show that you are a good Korean." "I will," replied Yoonhee. But I think I would like my own American name," she said quietly. Her mother looked at her with surprise. "Why? Yoonhee is a beautiful name. Your grandma and I went to a name master for it." "But it's so hard to pronounce," Yoonhee complained. "I don't want to be different from all the American kids." "You are different, Yoonhee," her mother said. "That's a good thing." Yoonhee just wrinkled her nose. "I know we've been thinking about how Yoonhee probably feels, but how do you think her mother feels that she wants to change her name?" Later that day, Yoonhee and her mother went grocery shopping in their new neighborhood. They passed Fatty Fat Falafels, Tony's Pizza, and Dot's Deli. A big graffiti-painted garbage truck roared like a lion as it took off down the street. Nothing sounded or looked familiar until they got to Kim's Market. The sign was in both English and Korean. Her mother picked up cabbage to make kimchi, Korean-style spicy pickled cabbage, and other vegetables and meat. She also found some seaweed, Yoonhee's favorite for soup. It made Yoonhee smile. "Just because we've moved to America," her mother said, "doesn't mean we stop eating Korean food." Boy, it must feel so different to walk down the street and see all these different foods and stores and people. At the checkout counter, a friendly man smiled at Yoonhee. "Helping your mother with the shopping?" he asked. Yoonhee nodded. "I'm Mr. Kim," he said. "And what is your name?" "Yoonhee," she answered. "Oh, what a beautiful name," he said. "Doesn't it mean grace?" Yoonhee nodded again. "My mother and grandmother went to a name master for it," she told him. "A graceful name for a graceful girl," Mr. Kim said, as he put their groceries into bags. "Welcome to the neighborhood, Yoonhee." Oh my goodness, that must have felt so good to have someone compliment her name. That evening, Yoonhee stood in front of the bathroom mirror. "Hi, my name is Amanda," she said cheerfully, and she wrinkled her nose. "Hi, my name is Laura." Maybe not. Her smile turned down. Nothing sounded right. Nothing felt right. "I don't think American kids will like me," she worried as she began to brush her teeth. "Hi, my name is Susie," she said to the mirror with her mouth full of toothpaste. The next morning when Yoonhee arrived at school, she found a glass jar on her desk with some pieces of paper in it. Yoonhee took one out and read it aloud. "Daisy. That's my baby sister's nickname, and she said you can use it if you want," said Sydney, who sat next to her. Yoonhee took out the rest of the paper. "Tammy," she read. "I got it from a storybook," said Nate. "She was smart and brave." Yoonhee nodded and unfolded another piece of paper. "Wednesday? Yeah, you came here on a Wednesday," said Ralph. "Thank you for your help." A smile spread over Yoonhee's face. Ralph quickly said, "We'll put more names in it. You can pick whatever you like, or pick them all, and you'll have the longest name in history." Oh my goodness, so many good friends in her classroom. At 3 o'clock, the bell rang for the end of the school day. Yoonhee looked out the window and saw it was sprinkling. It's the same rain, she thought, but in a different place. She watched other kids leaving in groups. "Hey," a familiar voice called out to her. Yoonhee turned around to see the curly-haired boy again. "I'm Joey," he said. "And you? Don't you have a name?" Yoonhee thought for a moment. "Well, I can show you," she said, and took out the small red pouch. She pressed the wooden block on the ink pad and then stamped it on a piece of paper. "This is my name stamp." Ooh, this reminds me of when we were reading Harry Potter and they showed us the envelope with the seal on it. This is kind of like that. My grandma gave it to me. In Korea, it can be used as a signature when I open a bank account or write a letter. And whenever I miss my grandma, I use it to fill a piece of paper. Want to try it? She offered the stamp to Joey, and he carefully inked the stamp and pressed it hard on the paper. The red characters gleamed against the whiteness. "Wow, that's beautiful," Joey said. "Can I keep this paper?" Sure, Yoon-hee said, and then the two of them shared her umbrella as they walked to the school bus. Oh my goodness, I would feel so lucky to have Joey as my friend. Every day, the jar got fuller with more names, and Yoon-hee read them all. She found a few names she liked. Miranda, Stella, Avery. They sounded interesting. I hope you choose the name I put in, Marco told her at snack time. I put in 3 more, said Ralph. Madison, Park, and Lex. They're my favorite street names. Maybe you should close your eyes and draw a name, Rosie suggested. My dog wants to be part of our story, too. Maybe you should close your eyes and draw a name, Rosie suggested. Ralph frowned. That's silly. What if she doesn't like the name she draws? Well, we didn't get to choose our names when we were born, did we? Rosie argued. Everyone thought about this. When Yoon-hee got home from school that day, her little brother ran to give her a letter. It was from her grandma. She opened it quickly. It said, "To my Yoon-hee, I hope you are enjoying your new school and new friends. Be sure to help your mother and your little brother. Here the moon is up, but there the sun is up. No matter how far apart we are, and no matter how different America is from Korea, you'll always be my Yoon-hee. Your grandma forever." Yoon-hee took out her wooden stamp and filled a paper with it. She thought for a long time in front of the bathroom mirror. Gosh, I want you to think now, how would the grandma feel if she changed her name? On Saturday, Yoon-hee walked to Mr. Kim's store. Mr. Kim was helping a customer, but he looked up and greeted her. "Hi, Yoon-hee." "Hello, Mr. Kim," Yoon-hee replied. She felt as if she were back in her old neighborhood in Korea. "Hey," said the customer, turning around. It was Joey. "Your name is Yoon-hee?" he asked with his eyes opened wide. Yoon-hee looked quickly at Mr. Kim, then turned to Joey. She nodded slowly. "Yes, it's pronounced Yoon-hee. And it means grace," Mr. Kim added. "Yoon-hee," Joey said slowly, and this time perfectly. It made Yoon-hee smile. I'll have it ready for you tomorrow," said Mr. Kim to Joey. "Thank you, Mr. Kim. See you Monday, Yoon-hee," Joey said to her. He left before she could ask him why he was at the store. Someone wanted to hear the end of the story with us. Let's see what happens. On Monday, Yoon-hee came to class early to look at the names one last time. But the jar wasn't on her desk. Instead, there was just a single piece of paper with a name on it. Yoon-hee slipped it in her pocket. "Where's your name jar?" Ralph asked as soon as he saw it was gone. "I don't know," Yoon-hee said. "It wasn't on Mr. C's desk or on any other desk, and it wasn't on the counters or any of the shelves." As soon as other kids arrived, they helped look. Soon, Mr. C came in and Ralph shouted at him, "The name jar is gone! The jar with all the names on it!" "Gone?" Mr. C replied with a look of concern. He asked Yoon-hee, "Did you get a chance to read all the names?" Yoon-hee nodded. She took a breath. "I'm ready to introduce myself," she said. Yoon-hee wrote her name in both English and Korean on the chalkboard. "I like the beautiful names and funny names you thought of for me," she told the class. "But I realized that I like my own name best, so I chose it again. Korean names mean something. Yoon-hee means grace." "Grace, Yoon-hee," shouted Ralph. Everyone tried to say it. Yoon-hee, Yoon-hee, Yoon-hai. Yoon-hee said her name again slowly and clearly. Soon, the kids began to say it better, even Mr. C. They applauded Yoon-hee's choice. "I was named after a flower," Rosie whispered to Yoon-hee. "Lots of American names have meanings, too," Mr. C reminded everyone. When the class was dismissed, Yoon-hee heard her new friends say goodbye. "Bye, Yoon-hee. See you tomorrow." "Goodbye, Yoon-hee." Yoon-hee said goodbye and then looked around for Joey, but he was already gone. Alright, let's see how it ends. "Yoon-hee, Yoon-hee, come downstairs," Mother called up to Yoon-hee. "Your friend is here." Yoon-hee rushed down to see who she meant. There stood Joey, and in his arms was the name jar. "Where did you find it?" said Yoon-hee breathlessly. Joey looked embarrassed. Well, I took it." but only because I wanted you to keep your own name. And you did. He reached in and pulled out the names. Do you want to keep them? He asked. Thank you. I'll keep them as a souvenir, Yoonhee said happily. Then she pulled out the piece of paper from her pocket. Do you want this back? Joey grinned. You can keep it. I'll return the name jar to the class. Maybe you could put some Korean nicknames in it for us. Names with good meanings. I could do that, agreed Yoonhee. I've already got a Korean nickname, Joey said. Mr. Kim helped me choose it. Let's see what it is. Carefully, he pulled a small silver felt pouch from his pocket. Then he took out a dark wooden stamp with beautiful Korean characters carved sharply into it. He pressed it on the ink pad and then on the piece of paper next to her name. Chun-kyu, read Yoonhee. That means friend. And Chun-kyu smiled back. Let's give the author 2 claps on 2. 1, 2. Okay, so you were going to get a blank piece of paper or a whiteboard or a chalkboard. And this is what I want you to answer. Oh, it's backwards. Well, I'll read it to you. If Yoonhee was in my class, I would blank. The whole time we were thinking, how would we feel if we were Yoonhee? Now I want you to imagine if you were in the classroom, how would you help Yoonhee feel a little better? Okay, so that was such a great book. I really enjoyed reading it to you, and I hope you can listen to it again with your family. For math today, I want you to challenge yourselves and write all the doubles facts. That means 0 plus 0 equals 0, 1 plus 1 equals what? Equals 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4, all the way to 12. And I know some of you love to challenge yourselves and go even further than 12 plus 12 equals 24. So on that blank piece of paper or whiteboard or chalkboard that you have at your house, I want you to write 0 plus 0 equals 0 all the way to 12 plus 12 equals 24. That's your math assignment for the day. So I just want to remind you that at the bottom of this video, I'm going to put all the links to worksheets that you can choose to do. You don't have to. And any YouTube videos that we watch during the school day so that you can do some exercising and show your families how you can count the whole way to 100. I also want some feedback from you guys. Did you like this video? Do you like listening to a story from me? What are some other things that might be helpful while you're kind of stuck at home right now? So I hope you have a really good day, and I miss you guys, and be kind to your family members.